What is going on, YouTube and Y'all Squad? This is your boy Yago Tees. This is your review for Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, season 13, episode 2. Yeah, yeah, we're late, but that's mostly due to the fact that I have had a sick doggy pretty much all week and having to come home to some not so pleasant things. The last thing that I was worried about was having to come on and do a review. Okay, but Jasmine is on the mend. She's much better, praise God, because Lord have mercy. So it's been a week, but here we are. So rather than be talking about my business, I'm going to talk about these ladies' business. So Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, season 13, episode 2. We start off with Dorit having a little picnic situation with Erica. She's upset with that Erica did not lead with an apology and that she, in essence, had to beg/dig for it. But I'm going to say this. Outside of us knowing that Erica is providing a storyline for Dorit, the fact that you feel that you have to dig for it or you have to ask for it, baby, it's not genuine. And let's be very, very clear. If you know someone and y'all had some type of friendship, situation, relation, whatever, for years, that person is aware of what they're saying and doing and how it will and won't affect you. So you shouldn't even have to ask for it. And yes, she probably should have led with it. But again, we know why. Erica doesn't want to rehash, because pretty much like I said, my apologies and all this other stuff. I don't want to have to go back down the rabbit hole of what my train of thought was, probably because she was probably wouldn't lie about it. But the thought came to her head. She said it in the moment and, tried her best to sell it. She apologizes and will do whatever, it is to make things right. Now, I put here in brackets because you need an ally. How true is that? Because how true of words could that have been? Because she will low-key verify it. So Dorit explains, that it's been a rough year with her and PK. And why the impact was pretty much more severe. Like if it was just, life being what it is, it wouldn't have hurt as much. But then things being severe, you also had Erica, saying like you pretty much she's here by herself. Her, again, confirming what I wrote down initially. But then you had Dorit say something. And again, I'm not one to sit here and try to poke holes in people's stories and whatnot. Certain things just don't add up. But she lets us know 14 months after the whole incident, so that particular Christmas, she went and withdrew $10,000 because she was going Christmas shopping, going to buy gifts and whatnot, had her pocketbook, purse, whatever it is, in the cart with her. And lo and behold, she gets to the register and notices that her pocketbook, purse, whatever, is no longer there. And it took surveillance to show that there were 3 men trailing her. That left a lot to be desired. And again, I'm not one to sit here and count people's pockets, this, that, and third. But we do live in a day and age where many of us don't carry cash. Now, there are some instances, situations where, got it. But you just withdrew $10K just to have it in your pocketbook. Now, I know broke folk, okay? People who be living pillar to post where they gonna withdraw the money before it gets snatched up out that account. Now, if it's that, I can understand it. If not, why didn't you just have your card and just swipe your card? It's just stuff like this that just don't be making sense to me. And production didn't ask the question, so who am I? So I'm gonna just leave it alone. Y'all let me know if y'all was asking y'all the same thing. So now we get Sutton. She calls Garcelle. Garcelle and Sutton are planning a weekend vacation in Vegas for Crystal's birthday. Sutton hopes to have a fresh start with Crystal because, again, everything that transpired with them over the last 2 seasons, which is understandable. And we'll see. Hopefully we don't have to revisit the dark comment because I ain't got it to do. And yar. So a woman named Alessandra comes over. She's a matchmaker trying to help Sutton. Sutton says she's a one-date wonder and, just kind of doesn't really know why no one wants to do the second date, which I'm going to say to Sutton, count that as a blessing because, again, people know that you have money. So at least you're not dealing with somebody that is just trying to entertain you because of, you know, what you can provide. So, I mean, there's that. But, you know, she feels that it might be because she's intimidating, this, that, and third. We don't know, but we shall see. And she gives her specs when it comes to whatever guy. He needs to be tall, handsome, have a college, you know, will be a college graduate. And she was like, we can talk about the wealth later. Which I'm like, okay, but look, whatever Sutton won't hate it, let her have it. All right, praise God. So we get Crystal, Rob, her husband, her brother, Jeff. And Crystal feels that, you know, first off, I don't have a problem with her giving us some, you know, expository stuff when it comes to her brother. And if this is going to be the storyline, cool. I just want to know what Crystal got going on. And it's real crazy how we don't get nothing from you all last episode. And this is, again, it's some juicy stuff because, I mean, I really want us to dive into it, but I just want to know what she's bringing. But pretty much says that she feels that her brother might blame her for no longer being engaged because he was engaged and was supposed to get married right when the wedding was supposed to happen. The pandemic happened and he was in, I believe he was in China, right? Yes, he was in China and, you know, we all know what happened with the panorama, okay, the panini. We all know what happened with the panty and what was going on all over the world. We ain't even got to go there. But her and her mother wanted him to come back to the States, which was a little, you know, rocky all in itself, given the tension that was going on here. And I guess he was trying to bring his soon-to-be wife, but I guess, and they said that she had only a Chinese passport. I have one, but I don't know what she meant by Chinese, like only a Chinese passport. Don't really know. Hopefully somebody can like break that down for me. But I guess because she wasn't able to come, and I guess he came not really for Crystal, but because of their mother. And that was the, you know, dissolving of their relationship. And I guess she feels that he blames her, but he's been back in China. He was able to, from what it seems, have some type of closure on the situation. So now he just wants to date. He's 40. I believe Rob was 41 when he got with Crystal, or was courting her at least, and had even said to Crystal, so how would you feel if I brought a 20-something-year-old around? Now, my thing is, why you need her permission? One, but I guess because he's probably living with them. And it was a side eye that she gave him, but then says, well, if she's anything like me, then it's okay. Like, all right. Okay, Crystal, now, no, I'm gonna leave that alone. Do you, boo-boo, go off. All right, what we got next? So I said that, so we get Kyle and Dorit. Kyle got a new car. Go ahead, show the money. PK wants Kyle to help him recreate Pretty Woman for Dorit. Now, I ain't never seen Pretty Woman. I heard the gist of it. Okay. Dorit says, you know, she feels something is going on with Kyle. And, you know, she feels a heaviness and asks if she feels she will not end up with Mauricio. Like, is that really what it is? And it's because of her IG photos where it went from being all about her and him to pictures of her with everyone else but him. And it is very, very telling, especially when like that is what you present. And when you change up what it is that you present online, then yeah, people are going to have questions. And Kyle says she needed freedom / space away from everyone and everything. And Dorit, you know, doesn't believe Kyle, but will respect her boundaries, which is all you can do. So we get Garcelle and Sutton. And this was a scene that I was like, I love when we get like genuine, honest moments. I do. So Sutton has a spread and Garcelle is like, okay, I see what you did. She like, it's Postmates. And I love that. Like, rather than sitting here trying to front for the like, no, I ordered this. I ain't cooked none of this, but thank you. I appreciate that. And then, let me see. What did I write here? Oh, the male-female thing is tricky for Sutton, like letting a man lead, which is understandable. Again, we live in a patriarchy, you know, where monogamy only benefits the man. It really doesn't benefit the woman, especially depending on, you know, what ethnic group you belong to and, you know, what the past is, this, that, third. We're not going down that road, but I understand. And I also don't believe in just, you know, letting someone do something because of gender roles and what society has said. And I get, for her being a woman, like, I'm not just going to let you lead when you haven't shown me that you can lead. Get it, got it, good, understand it. And Sutton wasn't in the boardroom of her marriage. And I liked how she said this, because I keep saying marriage is not, and look, I had this conversation at work. I don't know. And look, I can talk about it like on a whole nother video if y'all want. But, we're talking about marriage and whatnot and how, no celebrity should be relationship goals. And I was like, well, hell, I kind of sort of want what Will and Jada got. And I'm in the office with nothing but women. And they all look at me like, what you say? And I'm like, because marriage is literally nothing but a contract. Is literally like marriage is nothing but a business. It's two people bringing together their assets and combine them. That's literally all that a marriage is. All this lovey-dovey stuff that came in the 40s, 50s, and the 60s and that propaganda. That's all. Let's call it for what it is. Like, and we had a discussion. It was just, and I'm not going to go into the specifics of everything else that was said, but, and I even said, like, that's really all that it is. And, even somebody that I work with is like, yeah, because, I'm kind of, in a situation right now where, my business partner sleeps in the basement. And I was just like, oh, wasn't expecting to hear this, but okay. But but even said, like, our asset is this, it's tax free, and da. So it is just what it is. And I'm just like, love and all this other stuff, man, y'all can learn to love you. I just gotta like you. You feel me? But I'm saying all that to say, it's a business. At the start and the end of it, it's a business. So when she said she wasn't in the boardroom, for pretty much most of it, when the decisions were being made, it makes sense. I'm just happy that she was able to walk away with $300K a month. Go ahead, Sutton, baby. And she said he made the decisions and told her after he made the decision. So she had nothing to say about it. And all that she really could do was plan the summer vacations because he always came at the tail end. So Sutton asked Garcelle about her, and Garcelle starts to get emotional. And she ends up talking about, obviously, what happened with her and Jax. And unbeknownst to us, that was the day before. So the emotions are still pretty raw. And Garcelle shares that Jax thinks she's doing it all wrong. And he was struggling and she didn't see it. And I'm glad we're getting this part of it where she had time to digest it. Because again, like, look, when I tell you that a lot of people had thoughts that are very archaic, are very from that whole realm of I am the parent. So literally I am running this whole entire thing. You're a child. You are my possession. You're not a tiny human. So it's going to be a whole lot of get back. Like I've had somebody kind of say something like that to me about something going on with me and my mother, who happens to be my landlord. Yeah, fun. But I'm like, but the fact that Garcelle had a moment to say he was struggling and I didn't see it gives merit to the fact that everything that he was saying was valid. Now, she also said, and Garcelle also thought that he was being a brat, but it's hitting her. I'm sorry that he was being a brat and pretty much kind of hitting her. Oh, wait. Was being a brat, but, it's hitting her that she didn't see any of this. Where it's, okay, the signs are there. I don't see it. And Sutton tells her she's a great mother and teen boys can be a brat. Can be an a-hole. And Garcelle feels she failed as a mother. He asked to move with his dad and that hurt her. And Garcelle tells us saying that was him either and or punishing her and or seeing what he can get away with. And y'all heard me say last week when he said what he said, he meant that. And is more than likely coming from a genuine place. And again, Garcelle opened up the conversation, so he just walked right through that door. But it's clear that he was trying to hurt her. Point blank, Andy, period. Regardless. His feelings are valid and everything else. But yeah, there was a little sting, a little jab there. And the whole him one move in with his father, more than like, because here's the thing, in terms of having freedom, I'm pretty sure pimping has a lot of freedom. But yeah, that's his way, more or less, of trying to hurt her. And it could just be him trying to, say, hey, maybe I can get your attention by saying this. Is it messed up? Yes, but it just is what it is. And, she feels she needs to spend more quality time with Jax and be present. That was the piece when she said be present. Because there's a lot of people saying, oh, well, she's there, she's there, she's there. And I think I said this on my review last week. Just because you're there doesn't mean you're present and you're in the moment. Like I said, I had a working mom. I understood why she worked. And I understand it more now as an adult than I did then. But understanding, hey, we won't have what we have if she's not working. But the moments that she was physically here, she wasn't present. She was over there doing her, and I'm left going through all the mental ish that I was going through at the age of 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 by myself, where I had to raise myself. I had to bring myself out of a depression and anxiety, amongst other things, and a whole lot of thoughts that I should not be having about harming myself at 10, 11, 12, 13 years old. I get it. So I have a parent that is physically here, but is not present. and I knew she wasn't present because she didn't find out about me being, I guess I can't say that word, not wanting to be here anymore. She didn't find that out until, was I still in Korea? 2015. That puts a lot of things into perspective, that it took that long, and we're in 2023, for her to finally know, like, yeah, your son just didn't want to be here anymore. And you don't know this because, yeah, you're physically here, but you're not present. You're not being attentive to me and what's going on with me and around me. Just saying. So I get it. And Garcelle had even said that part of her wants to call her ex and kind of be like, hey, can you talk to Jax? But feels like that could create more of an issue, because then he's going to want to know this and do deeper diving and whatnot. And Son says, see, this is why the girls can't see why we're friends, because we're single moms with exes who are heavily in their lives, and they laugh about it. So we get Dorit and Kyle. So the lunch in the hotel room, Dorit doesn't get the movie reference and asks why they were in the presidential suite, and then it dawns on her what the movie reference actually was. Dorit is having anxiety because, like, okay, we're here. I just told the kids that, oh, I'm going out for lunch and I'll be right back. So who's with the kids? What's going on? And Dorit's a control freak. I get it. She's freaking out, talking to production. Or one of the production staff, the other person on production is like, why won't you just, like, why can't she talk to you? She's like, I tried to talk to her and she doesn't want to listen. She ends up calling PK. No, I'm sorry. Kyle is talking to PK. So then eventually Dorit calls PK and he just lets the kids say, Mom, we're in on it. It's okay. Everything is fine. Kind of cute. And Wardrobe comes in and to, style her and whatnot. And then Dorit goes back into her Dorit bag, letting him know that, she fashion designer and does makeup, this, that, and the third. And for the first time in a long while, she brought up Beverly Beach. I swear, y'all, I was thinking last week, why I ain't heard nothing about Beverly Beach? Okay, well, I heard something this time. So, boom, there we go. So then, we're continuing to go on. She's now a PK. They walk into a room. Take My Breath Away is being sung, which I actually love that song. But that isn't from Pretty Woman. But, that's PK's whole thing, is mixing and matching genres and movies and songs and whatnot. And Dorit lets him know where he erred, in terms of, what she likes to do and whatnot. Which, I get it. I honestly would have just, I'm one of those, in a moment such as that, especially when it's a joyous moment, just be in that moment and then bring up all your grievances later. But she talks about her PTSD. He says he understands the PTSD. And Dorit lets us know that she doesn't want grand gestures, but wants him to pretty much help her out more when it comes to the house and the kids and the this and the that. And again, I don't recall from last season. I just want to know, is she telling him that? And if not, bro, listen. So we get Kyle throwing her daughter Portia a B-Day party. Kyle feels the agency is Mauricio's other woman because he is just so, literally throwing himself into it. Estella, Kyle's mother-in-law, asks Kyle, is everything okay with her and her son because of the headlines. Kyle says she was seen without her wedding ring one time, and that sparked a whole lot of rumors. Alexia says to Farrah, oh my gosh, look at your tattoo. Farrah says, is it real? And Kyle says, she's testing it out unlike me. And I don't know. Part of me feels like this was Kyle trying to have a moment on camera, because again, Kyle really doesn't do this. Now, maybe it's the rebelliousness or whatever. I was here for it, because I'm just like, finally, Kyle is giving us something rather than playing producer. And if she's playing producer for her own life. And Kyle asked Mauricio after she said that comment about unlike me, because she saw her mother-in-law's face, and asked him, does your parents know that, you know, in essence, the both of us have tattoos? And Mauricio's is like, yeah, I don't think so. So Kyle lets Estella know that she has tattoos. Estella says it's okay, and asks, is it that of Mauricio? Like, is that tattoo, you know, my son? And she's like, no, because, you know, that's a jinx. And then she shares that Mauricio has a tattoo. So then Kyle tells this to Mauricio. And Mauricio is not appreciative of that, because it is his to talk about. And I can understand that, where it's like, this is my business, what's going on in my body. I should be able to tell my parents that. But I also think with him being Jewish, because, you know, like I said, I'm Jewish too by religion, is depending on where you are, I guess, on the spectrum, whether you're closer to the Hasidic Orthodox or you're closer to the Reform. If you're closer to the Hasidic and the Orthodox, yeah, having a tattoo is frowned upon. And for the most part, you can't be buried in a Jewish cemetery, those that are just strictly that, or have a ceremony in such a way if you have tattoos, because that's kind of one of those no-nos. So it could be that he didn't want that out. You never know. And again, a lot of us, you know, like Zennials, early millennials, Xers and above have this thing where, you know, we don't want to disappoint our parents with certain things. So we rather just not tell them and hope they make it to the grave before we do. So, you know, it is what it is. So there's that. So now we have Crystal's B-Day, or I guess the leading up to. Kyle has provided the jack. Now, again, we're getting the lavishness now. I also believe she provided everybody with their own little tote bag with their names on it. Nice touch. And Kyle gives Crystal a sapphire and diamond necklace. Erica is going to take them to a Magic Mike situation. Erica says she is giving up fighting for Lent. I holler. And I just hollered. And then they land. There's Red Phantoms already there. Again, money. Dorit didn't bring her glam, but Crystal did. And if you know, and the reason that's funny is Dorit brings glam everywhere. Crystal does her own makeup. So the fact that it's in reverse is funny, but that also kind of leads into the whole maybe Dorit and PK are truly having, you know, financial issues. Don't know, throwing it out there. And then Crystal's hotel room is 15,000 square foot room. I'm like, oh my God. It was nice. I was like, oh gosh. Garcelle and Sutton are obviously sharing a room. Sutton team had already got there and put her stuff up front. And in essence, kind of leaving Garcelle with like a little mini piece of the closet. Garcelle's faded away, but it's funny. It's cute. That's their banter. And then we pretty much get a preview of how chaotic next episode is going to be. And Sutton just having a meltdown. And we don't know why. And chances are we're either going to find out at the very end, or they're going to leave us with a to be continued that we found out in the previous week's episode, or the previous upcoming episode, which would be what, episode 3? No, lies. Yeah, episode 3 of what actually sent her off. So we shall see. So that is all that I have. Thank you all so much for watching. I'm going to go ahead and give you all Miami. I'm going to try to stick it out with Miami. No promises. And yeah, with that being said, please rate, comment, subscribe, and share. Catch us tomorrow for the Whether You Like It or Not Pound of Potomac edition on Scotty by Nature TV channel. I'm going to try to get that video out tonight. If the cable is working. If not, I'm going to just have to wake up. Well, I'm already waking up early tomorrow. I got to go to the gym. So I'm going to try to wake up a little bit earlier than that to like watch it and hurry up and get a review out. If nothing, just watch it and then do the review as soon as I get home before the panel. But check us out over there and I will see you all then. Peace out.